There are certain foods I definitely don't like. Kale, spinach, broccoli. I'm not saying I don't like them because of the taste. I'm saying because I don't like what they have in them. They have oxalates. Oxalates are basically little tiny shards of glass that will end up in your urethra, in your bladder. You'll end up with interstitial cystitis. You'll end up with bladder infections. You'll end up with kidney infections. You'll end up with joint pain. You'll end up with lots of different things. Talk to guys like Paul Saladino or Dave Asprey. They're going to tell you these are things you need to stay away from, high oxalates. So I'd say spinach, kale, broccoli, chard, Swiss chard, raspberries, almonds. People don't really eat acorns, but they have really high levels of that too. So those are the things I would stay away from. There's other things too, but just go look up something that has high oxalates. There's a great book out there called Toxic Superfoods, and it talks about high levels of oxalates. And again, it's toxic. These foods we say, oh, they're superfoods, but then when we look at them, we go, yeah, but they have toxins in them. And why do they have toxins? A cow can run from us. A chicken can run from us. A pig can run from us. But how does a plant run from you? It can't. So what's it do? It has to produce toxins so that if you eat it, it creates problems, and so then you won't want to eat it again. If you give a pig spinach or kale, a lot of times they don't eat it, especially kale. Now, it could be due to taste, or is it because they actually know that it's not good for them, and it creates oxalates? That'd be something I'd want to stay away from. So oxalates would be number one. Number two would be I'd stay away from PUFAs, or polyunsaturated fatty acids. PUFAs are going to be in PUFA. I'd stay away from soybean oil. I stay away from safflower oil. I stay away from canola oil. I stay away from cottonseed oil. What are the oils I would eat? I would eat beef tallow. I would eat butter. I would eat ghee, and ghee is Ghee. I would eat those three things. Those are the three things I do eat, and those are the things I cook with, right? Because those are saturated fats, but it's not saturated fats that are bad for you. They're actually saturated fats if they're not processed, and they're in your diet, and they don't have chemicals in them. They're going to actually be very, very good for you. That's the thing about eating meat, right? If I eat meat that has high fat content and it's grass-fed, awesome. Perfect. If I eat meat that's been fed antibiotics and given steroids or given grains or given some type of glyphosate, which glyphosate is on all the wheat products that are out there, right? Roundup, because it's a weed killer. In some instances, if the product is a GMO, it might be because they took the Roundup and they put it in the genetic material. So instead of having to spray it on the crop, it actually is embedded in the genetic code so that the animals won't want to eat it because it has glyphosate in the actual seed, in the DNA, which I know, pretty scary, right? So GMOs sound like a good idea back in the day for most people, but now we're realizing like any GMOs are really bad for you because of things like that. So I want to stay away from seed oils because seed oils in general are known to stay within because they're in every lining, every outer lining of your cells, every cell. But they're known to stay there for anywhere from 2 to 6 years. So let's say it's only like 2 months, which is not, but let's say it's 2 months. Why would I want it to be there for 2 months when it creates a problem within my cells? It creates a problem where my cells become very toxic. I want things, not even olive oil. I would go a small amount of olive oil, but I would do more beef tallow. I would do ghee, and I would do butter. But the butter, again, has to be grass-fed butter. So whether it be Kerrygold or whether it be an organic grass-fed cow, that's what I would want. That's the good stuff. Whether I cook with it or whether I put it on afterwards, that's what I would want.